Commonwealth and World Cup glory to her name, Lizzie Armitstead's 2014 was a real road racing coming of age. And she's continued to mature into this season, which started with another podium-topping finish.
I went to the Tour of Qatar, which was my first race of the season, and won it. Won 2 stages and won the overall, and that was a big surprise. I was just going there to test my form and see sort of what my weaknesses were before coming back to the European season, where again that's gone great.
It seems like you're building on a successful year last year already. What do you think that the early form is down to?
I suppose last year I had a fantastic year. I was consistently good all year, and that was because I'd learnt lessons from a bad 2013, and I suppose I tried to keep it simple this winter, kept doing the same things that I'd done previous winter that had worked, and you know, bearing in mind that Rio's just a year away, I've worked very, very hard, but I do know that there's potentially another gear left for next year's winter.
Have you made any changes? Because I noticed that you've done quite well in the sprints so far.
I was a track rider to start with, so kind of took my sprint for granted over the last few years and let it slide away a little bit. And I've been putting myself in the position to win races a lot, but not having that sprint to finish it off. So yeah, this winter I worked hard on my sprint and my confidence as well in sprints. I really put myself in the position in Qatar in a bunch sprint to go for it, which I haven't done before. I've always shied away from it, and sort of putting that pressure on myself worked.
Back on Europe's roads, her World Cup defence began with 7th at the Ronde van Drenthe, then a win at the Trofeo Alfredo Binda. A mixed bag perhaps, but it's on Belgium's cobbled lanes where she really craves success, and that's why there she's been putting in lots of bone-rattling practice hours.
What do you want to get out of 2015?
My main goals are the Tour of Flanders and the World Championships. The National Championships in June is also very important to me, but I don't see that I need to be in peak physical shape to win it. I think I can win it, you know, not peaking. So Flanders, World Championships, that's what I'm aiming for. You
are the defending World Cup champion. What would it mean to you to defend that this year?
It's a tough question, is that one, because last year I went into that totally blind, didn't expect to win it, and I suppose it's you know, it's a tick against that goal, and whether I want to chase it again this year I'm not sure, because they're the outstanding goals of Flanders and the World Championships, and they mean more to me than defending the World Cup. So again, if it happens it'll be a bonus, but I'm not chasing it.
I understand the significance of the World Championships. Flanders, what is it about Flanders?
Flanders is an iconic race. It's famous. If you win Flanders, you're one of sort of cycling greats. You can call yourself a real champion then. It's hard, it's notoriously windy, rainy, cold. You ride over cobbles, you ride up and down, steep climbs all day. It's just a hard person that wins it, you know. It's kind of a Yorkshire lass should win it.
You'll be able to follow Lizzie's progress here on the BBC as we'll bring you highlights of the Women's World Cup Series. Coming up next we head to Belgium for one of Lizzie's season goals, the Tour of Flanders.
Hello and welcome to round 3 of the UCI Women's World Cup. We've moved to Belgium, to Oudenaarde, for the magnificent Ronde van Vlaanderen. I'm here with Rochelle Gilmore. Easter Sunday, the Easter bunnies are out and everyone's in a good mood.
Well, it's unusual to see the sun shining because this race is famous for the bad weather, and I think the riders will be extremely happy that the sun's out.
There on the top tube, some notes about the kilometres and the top of the climbs. But everyone is set for the Ronde van Vlaanderen. This is a race that everyone wants to win. Let's hear from the favourites.
Yeah, I'm excited. There's a winner in 2011, and to race here is always special. And if you're, you know how it's to get victory here, and yeah, I'm excited.
I feel well, I'm ready, and I've got a strong team behind me and with me, so wanna race.
Yeah, I think we are strong, but other team are also strong, like Bulls and Wiggle. So yeah, for us the goal is to have more riders as possible in the front and try to do a team effort.
Nervous, excited. Yeah, just hoping that I have good legs, really. Got the best team behind me, and I've really worked hard for this race. I've tapered this week, so I'm as fresh as I can be, so feeling confident.
Well, it's one of the biggest surprises of today to see Emma Johansson here, because she broke a collarbone just 3 weeks ago. She's been a favourite in the past, but it's a very big victory just to be on the start line.
I'm not feeling bad or anything. When I crashed, I didn't think it was possible for me to be at the start here, but my recovery has been going really well, and yeah, I've been riding already. After a week I could be back on the road, and had some good trainings this week on the cobbles, and it feels okay. So of course I don't have the racing in the legs from last weekend like the others do, but I'm very excited. I love this race. It's my home area here in Belgium, and have a lot of friends and supporters here, so I will just enjoy the day to maximum. That's my goal for today.
Emma's hometown will be decked out in blue and yellow as we go through Zingham. Here's the standings, and Lizzie Armistead leading 160 points. Jolien Dora and Ellen van Dijk tied on 120.
At the sign on here, there's a lot of nervous riders. Here's Laura Trott. She won't be nervous today because this is a new thing for her, to be riding a World Cup in the British National Champions jersey for the Matrix Fitness team.
It's a little bit chilly, but there's last year's winner, Ellen van Dijk. All smiles for her. Will she be doing a team job today? Emma Johansson with the rest of the Orica AIS team as they get ready for racing.
Nothing like a little bit of pressure for Iris Schleppendal. Here's Lisa Brennauer with Ina Yoko Teutenberg, one of the big stars of the past.
Elena Cecchini there in the Italian colours, and here's Jolien Dora. What a proud moment for her in the Belgian champions colours.
There's been a lot of attention around Jolien Dora leading into this race, but here's the world champion, Pauline Ferrand-Prévot. She was second in last week's Chitilio World Cup.
A little bit chilly, but the bells are tolling in the background. We're getting close now to the start of this race, as we see the peloton all lined up and leading out, with Lizzie Armistead, the World Cup leader in the white jersey, right at the front.
These crowds are unbelievable. You can hear the roar of the crowd just going off the start line. This will be a bit of an experience for a lot of women in this peloton, having such huge crowds and the noise rolling off the start line.
There's Iris Schleppendal, the Dutch champion on the right-hand side, the Swedish champion Johansson, the Belgian champion Dora. And a problem here for Kirsten Wild at the back. Looks like she is going to have mechanical assistance even in the neutralised section.
She looks quite relaxed. It's a long race here for the women at Tour of Flanders today, so she's quite relaxed in the neutral. This is the start. See, Orica AIS, they've got a lot of pressure on them because Emma Johansson's not in fine form after breaking the collarbone just 3 weeks ago. So it'll be interesting to see if they actually ride for Emma today or whether they try a different tactic.
So through the hometown of Emma Johansson, through Zingham, everyone, as we said before, decking it out with the blue and yellow balloons and all the bunting as well. 145 kilometres today these riders face, 10 helling along the way, and they're pretty tough. 5 cobbled sections, that's the menu for the Tour of Flanders. It's going to be a brave winner who crosses the line at the end of today. On to the Wolvenberg then, with 96 kilometres of racing remaining. This is the first climb of the Tour of Flanders, and we can already see Boels Dolmans there, Wiggle Honda at the front. Oh, and a problem here for Lizzie Armistead.
Looks like she's had a puncture. The mechanic there changing the rear wheel, but that's true professionalism from Lizzie. You can see how relaxed she was, letting him change the wheel. She was on the radio to tell her teammates they've got communication, that I've punctured. And it looks like they've just moved to the front there to control it while she does the chase to get back on.
So Lizzie Armistead is in the race convoy. There she is, as she has got to be a little bit careful on the first climb of the day. You don't want to be zooming back up the climb and putting yourself into the red at the top, so you suffer on the next climb as well. So it's got to be relaxed and come back nice and steady.
Well, I think if anybody can stay relaxed, it is Lizzie Armistead. She's a very confident type of rider, and we can see there was no panic there but will that take the toll towards the end of the race? Because it's a very, very long race, and any extra work you have to do could cost you in the finish.
This is the first stretch of cobbles. It's the Rutterstraat, and still Lizzie Armistead on the back of the Wiggle Honda car is not in the race yet.
Well, she's just about to hit the cobbles by herself, so she may be thinking this is a little bit tougher than I thought it would be. It's a, you know, different kind of tactic from riders, whether they go explosive to get back on or they just take their time. It looks like Lizzie's taking her time, but you can see her team is on the front right now, controlling, knowing that she's making her way back to the peloton.
But it's not easy at the back here. On the cobbles, already riders losing wheels. But the peloton all now back together, nice and compact. Bowles-Dolman's on the front, so are Bigler, well represented, Orica AIS. And a few riders just losing wheels and suffering at the back of this race.
Well, it's interesting to see that it's split already. That's Laura Trott. So she's having a little bit of a rough time out there. It's not an easy race, Tour of Flanders, and we know that road is not her thing. But here we see them on the second climb of the day. And that's Chloe Hosking on the left of your screen there from Wiggle Honda, just trying to control for the likes of Ronzini, Dorda and Longo Borghini.
This is the climb of the Molenberg. And Chloe Hosking, who is known as a top sprinter, is setting a very, very good tempo there on the right-hand side. Elisa Longo-Borghini sitting alongside her. You can see the surface here, Rochelle. It's really tough, isn't it? These riders making it look easy.
Well, you saw some really rough cobbles and some smooth sections, and I can tell you the serious contenders of today's race have been over every single inch of these cobble sections to know whether they want to be on the right or the left. You can see the riders at the back, they're switching their lines to look for the easiest, smoothest part of the road. But these riders like Lizzie Armistead on the front now, they know every single inch of these cobbles, which side of the road to be on, what gear to be in, and that's the art of winning this type of race, is knowing every inch of the road.
Lizzie Armistead, who was second in the Tour of Flanders last year, was Ellen van Dijk in very different weather conditions, who time trialled to victory. Armistead took second, Emma Johansson took third place. As we head on now to hill number 6, this is the Kapperai, and an attack at the front now.
That's Annemiek van Vleuten of the Bigler team. She's really having a go. She'll be having a little bit of extra added confidence because she has won this race before. Now she's getting into a rhythm, so she's decided, yeah, I'm going to go for this. And there has been riders that have won from this far out from the finish.
Well, she's into time trial mode. 20 seconds is her advantage as she just tries to nip away from the front of this peloton. And at the back, notably, is Antoshina. Now, she finished second to Van Vleuten in 2011. So whilst one of them's off the front, the other one's going back on bottle duty.
A little bit of a sticky bottle there, but Van Vleuten, she's getting caught now by a Velocio SRAM rider. That looks like Canuel.
Onto the Canaryberg, my most loved climb of any named climb in the world. And Van Vleuten is about to be caught, and the pressure is really on.
Well, that was a great move from the Bigler team, because Ashley Moolman, she's back in the peloton, and she's quite a handy rider as well. So it was great to see Van Vleuten just gave 100% laid on the line. It may have worked, but she had Ashley Moolman back in the peloton.
Well, the rider now who's in trouble, wearing number 51, is Iris Schlappendel. She doesn't like this climb at all, so the legs have given out. Meanwhile, look at this. An attack from the Italian rider, Elisa Longo-Borghini of Wiggle Honda.
Well, she's got a gap, Anthony, and this is one rider that you'd probably have on your list that you would not let get a gap at this point in the bike race.
She's a very, very good time trialist. She's sitting right in the middle of the road there, picking her line. She finished third in the Flèche Wallonne last season, of course, and she doesn't mind the climbs at all. So Elisa Longo-Borghini just moving away.
There was a little bit of talk earlier in the week about their recon ride that they had on the Wednesday, that she was extremely strong and looking like she was going to be in top form. She was trying to peak for the Citilio World Cup, being a home World Cup, but she didn't quite reach her form there because she fell ill the week before, but it looks like she's on today.
35 seconds now is her advantage as she bumps across these cobbles. You can see every now and then she's pushed out of the saddle.